It's less than half an hour to go till the new year, and what better place to be this Hogmanay than Dundee, the city of discovery which celebrates its 800th anniversary in 1991. And there's a great party going on inside and outside the Caird Hall, and that's where we join Jimmy Spanky.
And welcome to the city centre of Dundee. Just 25 minutes to go before 1991 clocks in and the beginning of this city's 800th birthday. Our celebration programme is called Up With the Bonnets in the Caird Hall just behind me, and at this very moment the revellers are doing a dashing white sergeant.
Thank you. Thank you very much. How did all these people get in my room? Hello, Dundee! And hello to yourself. Welcome to the biggest Hogmanay party of all time, here in the glorious Caird Hall in Dundee. Not only a Hogmanay party, but we will be celebrating a birthday party just after the bells as well. We've got a fantastic programme for you, I promise you that, so stay tuned. Don't go away. It's going to be a great night. All your favourite stars. You've just been listening to the terrific music of the Dundee Strathspey and Reel Society and friends, I must hastily add, because Gordon tells me that some of the members of the orchestra have come from all over the country, so it's absolutely terrific. Thank you for being with us. More music from the Fiddle Orchestra. Here they come. indeed to, once again, the Fiddle Orchestra and Shifting Bobbins. Now, the last time our next guest in the programme, the last time I actually saw them, they were singing a song about one of the big events of this year, and of course that was the World Cup, which Germany won. Paul Gascoigne, Gaza, burst into tears. I think he must have been watching Scotland at the time. We'll come again, don't worry about that. On the home front, Willie Miller retired, Jim McLean smiled, and I think Jim McLean smiled. Terry Butcher was sent to Coventry, least said soonest mended. Airdrie beat Dundee, and then Dundee beat Airdrie. One team that can't be beaten, ladies and gentlemen, the McCalmans.
It's great being back in Dundee again. This is the city of discovery, and one thing we've discovered since we came to Dundee is that Bonnie Dundee, which is the song we're going to sing now, is not in fact about Dundee the place. It's about Viscount Dundee, who was an Australian tourist that went to the tourist centre riding his kangaroo, Pinto kangaroo, I think. Did you know that? Yes, I've read that in the history books. And he unfortunately died when I saw a picture of himself in a shortbread tin. A tragic event. I hope you'll join in the song Bonnie Dundee.
To the Lords of Convention 'twas Cleaverhall spoke, how the King Crown go down that are proud to be broke. And his cavalier that loves honour in me, let him follow the Bonnets, so Bonnie Dundee.
Come on!
Come fill up my cup, come fill up my can. Come saddle my horses and call out my men, and hit the Westport and let us get free. For it's not made of bonnets, so Bonnie Dundee. There are hills beyond Pentland and lands beyond Porth. There's lords in the south, there are chiefs in the north, and brave Danny Wazzles, 3,000 times 3, will cry hey for the Bonnets, oh Bonnie Dundee. Come fill up my cup, come fill up my can, come saddle my horses and call out my men, and nuke the Westport and let us get free, for it's a fate of Bonnets, oh Bonnie Dundee. And the walls of the hills to the lead to the rocks, and I own a youth suffer I'll crouch with a fox, and tremble false wings in the midst of your glee. Ye ain't no seen the last of my bonnets and me. Say, come fill up my cup, come fill up my can, come saddle my horses and call out my men, and nuke the Westport and let us get free. For it's a fate of Bonnets, so Bonnie Dundee. Come fill up my cup, come fill up my can, come saddle my horses and call out my men, and nuke the Westport and let us get free. For it's a fate of Bonnets, so Bonnie Dundee.
The band and we sit on the stand and we play gay guns, ace of reels and lancers. Folk that we meet ask us why do we did, and we must admit we had a godly answer. Each of us is just an ordinary manny. We are 12 butchers, I'm a Johnny, and every night we moon like we were playing for some drunken mob of Scottish country dancers. It's a harmless hobby and it pays the rent, and I wouldn't say we're fraudulent, but we never notify the government and we never take a check. Any engagement to play that we take, this is the only condition we make. Just pay in cash as we are leaving, fivers please at the end of the evening. But we once were at an office do, they never said they were the right getting you. The fee we spent it with the tax folk, get it and got put back. Think of any venue we have played them all. A marquee at the Lonach Infinite Fisherman's Hall. And though we recall that we have enjoyed them all, the finest ball for sure was the ball of Caird. We only just survived a wedding in Portree, McGinty's meal and ale for a peg on the spree. Some were rough, yon funeral in Macduff, and the show in Sullenvoe. We call him Kennedy, call him Kennedy. 12 o'clock and we're still sitting on our nerveless bums. I am playing automatically and so's my chums. I'm just gasping for some booze. Look at him, he's here in a snooze. But I'm always ready when the change of tempo comes. We're sitting here in the gear, what a neck we're here, and dancers who can burl and skell and nobody is what we're playing there. On the flare, do they care? Fit it is, or do you know they don't, cause they hanna come to dance. Well, look at Sandy getting randy, but he is a stupid tatty. That McQuainy Jean for Riney, she's a champion at karate. Jean and Sandy start a caper and get him in his mason's apron. That was clever, Sandy will never dance again. We wouldn't quarrel, our highlight has been to go to Balmoral to play for the Queen. Together the Queen and the Duke danced away. The Queen doing a tango, the Duke a strathspey. The Queen mum was absent, no cause for alarm. She'd gone to a disco at the Invergold Arms. Charles and Diana gave the ape some big licks. He wore the kilt, aye, but she wears the bricks. One there's a tish and we'll be off the leash. Just a few mere minutes till the intermission. Then to the bar for a nip and a jar. Oh, there's nothing drier than a dry musician. All these rumpy-tumpy tunes, we bring them in one endless stream, we string them. Each one a gem, it's a shame there's no words to them. It means that nobody can ever sing them.
The Oscar Caravan of Scotland Award, absolutely marvellous. We're having a great time in here. The atmosphere in Caird Hall tonight is absolutely electric. Are you having a good time in Caird Hall? There you are, what more can I say? Let's find out what's happening in the square outside, and for that, Jimmy Spanky. Over to you, Jim.
Thank you very much indeed, Art. Well, I can tell you the scene here is quite extraordinary. In fact, you'd think United had won the league. Right now, I'm surrounded by two of Dundee's beauties. On my right is Dorothy. Dorothy, what have you been doing this evening?
Well, we've been out and about. We've been around the carnival and things, and there were...
And enjoyed it?
Yes.
And Valerie, have you ever seen a scene like this in the city square?
I certainly have not. Never.
You're a Dundonian?
Yes, I am.
And do you normally come down to the centre for Hogmanay?
That's the first time.
First time? Oh, the first time. And what do you think of it?
It's great. Great.
Have you got plans for midnight?
Yeah, I'm going to be here.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Well, join us for part 2 of Up with the Bonnets after the break.
When you tuck your children in at night, are you putting them to bed or laying them to rest? If inhaled, the smoke from a house fire could kill a small child in under a minute. They'll rely on you to wake them up and get them out. What are you relying on? Wake up. Get a smoke alarm.
You hear some stories in this game. Take him, for instance.
You'll be perfect in my next film, darling.
The only films he produces get developed at Boots. Sir, 2 bottles of Kaiser Baden-Württemberg. When it comes to beer, it has got to be German. Now, he's got a point, actually. The only thing is that Kaiser Baden-Württemberg is brewed somewhere up the M6, under a head brewer called Dave.
Make mine a Beck's.
Very wise. Only ever brewed in Bremen, Germany. But it travels well. Like here, for instance.
Beck's, eh? Bit of a cider man, are we?
Blow me. I can see daylight.
Beck's beer, brewed in Bremen, Germany.
Dundee's 800th anniversary year sparks off with the greatest Hogmanay ever. It's family fun day all day with free carnival rides for the first half hour, non-stop entertainment day and night, and free late-night buses. Dundee 800 rockets into the new year with midnight fireworks. For Dundee in 1991, it's fireworks all the way.
Some old acquaintance I forgot just turned up in my mind. An old acquaintance I forgot I'm making tracks to find. Unwinding down the line, my dear, unwinding down the line. I'll dream a while, I'll see you smile unrolling down the line.
There, that's your mortgage sorted out. No. We can insure the property for you.
Isn't there some alternative?
Before handing over your insurance money to the Building Society, pick up the phone to Direct Line.
They can save us 20%.
For cheaper home insurance with a human voice, call Direct Line on 041 226 8877.
Yes, well, there you go. The year's almost over. It's drawing pretty close to 12 o'clock. It's been quite an eventful year when you think about it. Maggie finally hung up her handbag, and the majorettes moved from number 11 to number 10. It was hardly worthwhile bringing in the removal men, was it? I mean, it would have been easier to change the numbers in the doors. Prince Charles broke his arm and later appeared in public with a full supporting cast. The Forth Bridge got lit up. All we need now is for the trains to run on time. And our next guest is a young lady who's always on time. She's always on cue and definitely always on song. With my ain folk, Mary Cameron.
In the shieling bar. swiftly welling as the ruddy flames leap high. How the mother would caress me were I but by her side. Now she prays that heaven will bless me, though the stormy sea divide. And it's so that I'm longing for my infant. Though they be but lowly, fair and plainful, I am coming on the sea, but my head will never be back home in dear old Scotland. We must
acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind. Should old acquaintance be forgot and days old lang aside, for old lang aside, my dear, for old lang aside, we'll take a couple kindness yet for old lang aside.
weeping
much indeed, Art. Well, it's very difficult to describe the scene in the city centre here in Dundee and the city square. It is absolutely incredible. In fact, if it wasn't so friendly, it could even be slightly frightening. But certainly 1991 has got off to one whale of a start. With me is Henny King, the director of Dundee 800, who is responsible for all the events which will be happening this year to celebrate Dundee's 800th birthday. That was very nearly the second can of lager to hit me. Henny, are you surviving?
Absolutely. I think this is an absolutely fantastic way to start off the 800th anniversary. This has been going on since early morning. The crowds have just flocked in. The wonderful thing is it's a family atmosphere. Young people, old people, they're just flocking down to the city. As you can tell, they're really, really happy. And what a way to start off 800 years.
Well, you've had a lot of experience of this sort of thing. Have you ever seen anything like this?
Never in my life. Not even Trafalgar Square, not even Times Square in New York. This is City Square, folks, in downtown Dundee.
What's the biggest event, you think, Henny, in the coming year that we should look forward to?
June the 1st is Octocentenary Day. If you think this is something, wait till you come on June the 1st. They're going to be coming from all over the world, all our twin cities. They're going to be flocking in from Texas, a huge historical parade. But this is an indication of what the people of Dundee are all about.
It's going to be difficult for you to keep up the impetus that has started tonight.
Well, this is just a send-off, you know. Obviously, we couldn't celebrate like this every day, but we're going to start with the beginning. This is the beginning. We're going to have a middle in June, and then next year we're going to have a phenomenal end. And you'll be there all the time.
Certainly hoping to be. How have the citizens responded so far?
Do I have to tell you, Jimmy, look around. They're happy, they're boisterous, they're being very, very happy. I think they've responded phenomenally. To actually be able to close a city centre to travelling takes so much, and it's great.
Eddie, thank you very, very much indeed. All right, back now to Up With The Bonnets and the Pipe Band.
Well, you just couldn't be without a pipe band, and that was a great pipe band. The City of Dundee pipe band. Weren't they marvellous, ladies and gentlemen? Now, actually, there's only a couple of things wrong with tonight so far. I mean, the audience is marvellous, the music's been great, but I haven't had a drink yet. Here we are in 1991, I'm stone cold sober. And another thing that hasn't happened, we in the programme haven't had a first foot. Why no first foot? Happy New Year, George Duffy.
Happy New Year! I've got some traditional Dundee presents for you. First of all, a dressed herring. That's the good news.
They can smell it at the back
of the hall. It's a tradition. The bad
George.
news is it's last year's model. And it means you'll have a high old time. And of course, a special bottling from Stewart's of Dundee of the Octocentenary whiskey.
Happy New Year to you, George. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
All we need is 2 straws now. George Duffy.
Thanks very much indeed. All I can say is I hope 1991 is better than 1990. I had a rotten year. No, it was a lot worse than that. It was a bad year for the Queen as well, you know. She went up to Deeside for one of her favourite holidays, knocked on the door of a wee cottage, said, "I think I'll just pop in here and speak to one of my loyal subjects." It's the only impression I do, madam. Try and look impressed. In she went, the wife says, "What's up? I find to see your majesty. Can you come now? Would you like a bowl of broth?" She said, "That would be lovely." So she sat down, she got the bowl of broth, and suddenly the door burst open, and there's a little pig. A wee piglet rushed into the cottage, jumped up at the Queen's knee. It's the other impression. The Queen said, "Isn't that lovely? It's very touching. One would almost think this little creature recognises me." She says, "No, your majesty. It's the bowlie she recognises." It's been a bad year at the bank. My bank manager phoned me up. He said, "Do you realise your account is now £8,000 overdrawn?" I said, "You're joking." He said, "We never joke." I should have known. I said, "What was the position 5 years ago when I was a respectable businessman?" He said, "You were 9,000 in credit." I said, "Did I phone you?" It's going to be a great year for Dundee. It's our 800th anniversary in my hometown. I'm chuffed to bits. And, please, and to celebrate, Dundee Council are doing it in style. We're getting a new public convenience. Yes, tenders were invited in the Courier. In went the boy from Aberdeen. He says, "I'd like to build your public lavie napkin." He said, "Can you give me your tender?" He says, "Aye, £3,000. He says, "Can you break that down?" He says, "Aye, that's £1,000 for the men, 1,000 for the materials, and 1,000 for myself." He said, "Wait outside." Anyway, the Dundee boy says, "Yeah, we'd like to build a public toilet in that parking." These Dundee High School former pupils are everywhere, actually. He says, "Can you give me your tender?" He says, "Yeah, that's £6,000. He says, "That's 2,000 for the materials, 2,000 for the men, and 2,000 for myself." He said, "Wait outside." Anyway, the fiver. He says, "Oh, sir, I'd like to build your public toilet." Sir? He says, "What's your tender?" He says, £9,000. He says, "Can you break that down?" He says, "Ah, that's 3,000 for you, 3,000 for me, and we'll give the job to the boy from Aberdeen." Thanks very much. Happy New Year to you. Thank you.
The irrepressible George Duffus. Terrific stuff. And if you notice, George gave me a bottle of that 800 whiskey, Dundee whiskey. And here's a man who ages like an old malt. There's no fiddler finer than Heavy Gray. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Morrison.
A piper canty urtun, a piper canty urtun, and he played Bonnets. He played the spring, the lady please, a spring brand new frae on the seas, and then he gave his bags a squeeze, and played another key, and was he a rogue, and was he a rogue, the piper o' Dundee. He played the welcome o'er the main, and ye's be full and I's be pain, and all stewards back again, wi' muckle mirth and glee. He played the kirk, he played the queer, the mullingle and chevalier, and lang was he welcome here. Say sweet, say Bonnets, and wasna he your rogue, and wasna he your rogue, the piper o' Dundee. And some had swords and some had nane, and some were dancing o'er their lane, and mony a vow a weir was ta'en that nicht in Amory, with Tullybarden and Glenshee, with Struan, Keith and Ogilvy, and brave Carnegie, Wabat he, the piper o' Dundee, and wasna he your rogue, and wasna he your rogue, the piper o' Dundee, and wasna he your rogue, wasna he your rogue, the piper o' Dundee.
The Daily Record, #1 choice for Scots, is on sale tomorrow. The Colour Pack Daily Record. Don't miss it. Tomorrow.
Some old acquaintance I forgot just turned up in my mind. An old acquaintance I forgot I'm making tracks to find. Unwinding down the line, my dear, unwinding down the line. I'll dream a while, I'll see you smile unrolling down the line.
Reincarnation?
I prefer tulips myself.
No, I mean coming back as someone else once you've passed on.
What, you mean I'll get another go at life?
Apparently, yes.
No, I think I'm still going to make the most of this one with the help of this.
Milk?
No, low-fat milk. A good source of protein, vitamins, minerals, and this quarter pint has extra calcium and less calories than that apple.
Yeah, but if you could come back as someone else, who would you be?
Kylie Minogue.
I wonder what they do with all the leftover bits.
Hi, don't miss the big Summer 91 holiday discounts from AT Mays. From £25 to £200 off. AT Mays, everything a travel agent should be.
Happy New Year to een en al. Lang may your lumreek. All the best for 1991. Whoopee! St Andrews Woolen Mill, St Andrews.
Thanks once again to some marvellous playing from the Fiddle Orchestra and some good dancing as well. It's a pleasure to introduce our next guests because they have been voted 9 years Britain's top country band. And when all that was going on, they were Colorado. And here they are with a change of name to Caledonia with a super song. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Caledonia.
And back to Scotland, my spirit will fly to see her one more time before I die. You'll take the low road and I'll take the high. When the mists of evening rise to hide the starlight from the skies, my heart with longing sadness fills to see again those Scottish hills. Once more as in my boyhood days, I roll the bracken-covered braes and hear them singing in the glen. How will ye no come back again across the hills of You'll take the low road, I'll take the high, and back to Scotland my spirit will fly to see her one more time before I die. You'll take the low road and I'll take the high.
faster still. The days of youth that never will return now, only dreams remain of purple hills and fields of grain. But still I hear across the miles the haunting call of misty isles. Above the tidal waters roar, but I know that I shall go no more across the hills of gold. Take the low road, I'll take the high, and back to Scotland my spirit will fly, to see her one more time before I die. You'll take the low road, and I'll take the low road, I'll take the high, and back to Scotland my spirit will fly, to see her one more time before I die. You'll take the low road, and I'll take the high.
Now, you couldn't come to Dundee to celebrate Hogmanay and the 800th birthday party of Dundee without mentioning perhaps one of the city's most famous sons. Poet, of course, something like myself. I took some of my poetry to a critic and said, what do you think I need? Do you think I need maybe more fire in my poetry? I said, no, you need more of your poetry in the fire. That apart, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Dundee's own William Topaz McGonigal.
I have penned a few words for the occasion. Oh, beautiful bridge o'er the River Tay. For you must have stood there now for many's a day. I observed that of all the carriages making the crosses, none relied on the power of horses, which was a pity and a great loss to the citizens of Dundee, for as I recall, when we were wee, that the treasure of horses was a poor man's catch, which did enhance the produce from his rhubarb patch. And for the life of me, when I walk in the city of Dundee, why do the children now point and laugh at me and say names like Dafty and vie with one another to mock one who was their very brother? And returning to the scene of all my former writing, I find the world in Dundee much less exciting, and I predict it in the year of 1991, which will be remembered for a long, long time to come, that it would be better for the citizens of Dundee and Aberdeen and Balmoral and you and me, that if the fruit and the vegetables fresh manured from Gowrie's carts were brought to the markets in horse-drawn carts, then we could rejoice in the year 1991, which will be remembered for a long, long time to come as the year of McGonigal's return, and horses and dung.
Thank you. Well, I'm afraid that's just about it for tonight. It's been a great party. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we. Well, if you're going to do it all together, that's better. Thanks for being such a marvellous audience. It really has been a super party. Now, I've really had the easy job tonight doing the That Was, This Is. So I think it's probably time I was doing a wee party piece. And this really is one of my favourite songs. Cold winter was howling o'er moor and windward, and wild was the surge on the dark rolling sea, when I met about daybreak a bonny young lassie, who asked me the road and the miles to Dundee.
Says I, my young lassie, I canna will tell ye the road and the distance, I canna will gie, but if you'll permit me to gang a wee bitty, I'll show you the road and the miles to Dundee.
So the lassie consented and gave me her ear. Ne'er a word did I speak what that lassie might be. She appeared like an angel in feature and form, as she walked by my side on the road to Dundee.
At last we the Howells, Strathmerton behind us, the spires o' the two in full view we could see.
I said, gentle laddie, I'll never forget ye, for showing me so far on the road to Dundee.
I took the gout pen frae the scarf on her bosom, and said, take ye this in remembrance of me, and bravely I kissed the sweet lips of the lassie, and I parted wee heart on the road to Dundee.
So here's to the lassie, I ne'er can forget her, an ilka young laddie that's listening to me. Oh, never be sweet taken by a young lassie, though it's only to show her the road to Dundee.
Thank you. Couldn't end with a better song, could you? The road and the miles to Dundee. All that remains for me to do is to say from all of us here in the Caird Hall in Dundee to yourself at home, a very healthy and a peaceful 1991. Bye-bye.
Well, they do